Let's take a look at the front pages. Mr. El-Rufai joins us now. He's a member of the Nigerian Guild of Editors. Mr. El-Rufai, good morning and welcome to the program.
Yeah, good morning, Friday. I get Jeff with us. Good morning, a pleasant day to Nigeria.
Well, I like that you say pleasant days. So let's see if the dailies reflect that, Mr. El-Rufai. The Nigerian Tribune is where we're starting off. And as you would expect, the daily leads with the Electoral Amendment Bill, or the Electoral Act Amendment Bill. Senate in division, reps in rowdy session as lawmakers pass e-transmission with manual backup. Minority reps walk out on session as Green Chamber reduces timeline on notice of election to 300 days. That's from 360. And INEC to review election timeline to exclude Ramadan period. It's a page 4 read. The biggest story, it will seem. Yes, there are other issues in the electoral amendment, but this one is not just going away. Mr. El-Rufai, are you for manual proviso or just electronic transmission alone? Whew. Oh dear. And we'll try to reconnect with Mr. El-Rufai. It will look like the electronic conversation or transmission of this has failed. But, you know, that's not related to what's playing on the floor of the Senate. We'll get back Mr. El-Rufai as much as we can. Almost like the connection is trying to, you know, just raise a bad joke this morning. Like, hey, I can fail, but you do not have a choice than to wait for me to work. But let's take a look at some other stories on the front page. We'll try to reconnect with Mr. El-Rufai. You see those pictures on the front page, 4 pictures of men, I must say, who are a bit advanced in age, and you're wondering what exactly is playing out. Well, it is chaos as Ondo APC meeting turns bloody. Hoodlums disrupt meeting, beats party chairman, injure other leaders. Government denies thuggery allegations, reaffirms commitment to peaceful politics. So it's 2026, yes. These things are still happening, yes. Will they stop? Well, I may not be able to say yes, because we're getting closer and closer to elections. And I mean, the closer we get, the more cantankerous these issues get as well. But come on. It doesn't speak well. But it's a page 3 read on the inside pages of the Nigerian Tribune. The 2 big stories just speak to the state of politics in Nigeria. One tells you what the game is on the floor of the Senate, but the other tells you what the game should not be in Ondo State. Mr. El-Rufai, I hope we have you back.
Oh yes, the signals are clear now. I can hear you.
Fantastic. We're going to resort to maybe manual conversation with you, but thankfully electronic is back. So, Mr. El-Rufai, what do you make of this? Which side are you on? Electronic strictly or electronic with manual backup?
Well, very clearly, every Nigerian is on the side of electronic, very strictly. There's no point, you know. We all do banking, we all do. I'm in the village as we speak. I'm somewhere in one small town called Adoje in local government in Delta State. And you know, though the signals are failing a bit, but as we all know, electronic transmission of results takes just a few seconds to do that. Once you snap the quantity 8A, and then you send it, and it's all over. So I do not know why the Senate is making things difficult. But it is becoming clear to every Nigerian that the problem we have in the country today is actually the Senate, because the House of Reps went for electronic transmission of results every time. It's the Senate that is playing politics, which is very important aspect of the law. You know, this is what all Nigerians want at this time. We do not want manual documentation. That is where people fiddle with the results, that is change the figures, mutilate figures, and all of that. And then it ends on to the court, and the court often, as we know, award the results. So maybe even very unpopular candidates, people who did not win election. I do not know why there is so much fear in the Senate. But I can understand why the Senate is a bit dirty. So, without missing words, even the Senate President himself, if you recall properly, his own election was served by controversy, how he emerged as senator. At some point, there was a placeholder. At another point, he lost the election. I listened to Mike again in your station. Yesterday or day before yesterday. We all know how why Professor the state the state returning officer manipulated results in Akwa Ibom State, and as we speak, that professor is in prison. I think he's doing 2 years or 3 years. So this is where the fear is, the apprehension is. Nigerians want electronic transmission of results. There's no need debating and overflogging the issue. That is why we are not taken seriously as a country. We have a Senate that is not on the side of the people. Now we can almost all understand the fear of gravitating towards a one-party state. When you have multi-party democracy, plural democracy, then we can have a lot of voices contributing to an important debate as this. The Electoral Act will just be a mere document that will just be dancing around a circle if at the end of the day we still think that at some point there are areas in this country where there will be manual recording of voters and outcome of election. That is where, for me, the manipulation is going to come from.
Yeah, Mr. Kerry, as we were talking, I said quite interesting. You know, APC has about 29 governors. If Adamawa joins in, that will be 30. And then we have majority in the Senate, majority in the House, and of course that means majority at the subnational level. So I was doing some analytics and extrapolations as to what may likely happen in 2027. Perhaps internet failure, but one thing is certain, there's going to be a lot of rigging, especially at the subnational level, where vigilance by citizens is lower compared to how we look at federal elections. So we're going to expect that, because we've seen miracles in quote happen at those centers. In fact, a top official of somewhere within the country had told me one time that in Nigeria, even when you win that election, you need money to protect that victory. He was trying to say to me that our institutions are so weak that mischievous element in our judiciary will still back those who they want to back. So even if you even if you win the election, of course there's post-election litigation. You have to spend money for your lawyers and some corrupt judges to be able to upturn the system as alleged in your favor. So you can see where there is apprehension, as you said. But let's look at, everywhere is literally talking about this election. But let's look at something else on the front page. I think that should be the Vanguard newspaper. The front page beneath two stories actually below the big story that has to do with reps caving in back in Senate. We will show that video later on when the opposition were cursing out on the APC, calling them names. But beneath that is the Tinubu unveiling Nigeria industrial policy demand speedy implementation. And then Dangote signs $400 million equipment deal to fast-track refinery expansion. What do you make of those stories?
Well, congratulations to Dangote. Without Dangote petroleum, by now I'm sure most Nigerians would have been in a serious mess. We're just talking about weak institutions. We all know that at some point, the NNPC was the monolithic behemoth that was running our oil and gas sector, and we saw all the queues, all the problems, sometimes the fightings at petrol stations, the high prices that came. Yes, the prices are not where they should be at the moment, but with the arrival of Dangote, I think there's some level of competition now. We are not, I'm not making the point that Dangote, because the flip side of it, that Dangote itself become another hegemony, another behemoth. But if you look at the cement sector where Dangote is in its strength, the prices are up there. So we just hope that this price war that is going on So that's the point. Whoever wins will not also become the new monopoly in the oil and gas sector. Now to the industrial policy that the president is talking about. I'm not excited. I'm not one of those that's excited. How do you drive industrialization without, stability in the power sector, without proper infrastructure, road network, even strong institutions that can guarantee, that can protect investors' funds? So I have a challenge there with this. It is not just enough to come up with grandiose policies that has the flavor of political statement. For me, I think that we need to get very serious as a country. We are competing with the rest of the world. There's no point. The president that is still talking about, we want to vigorously pursue an industrial policy and ensure that there's industrialization. The employment figures in the country today is soaring. That is why we have a huge population of our young people are traveling abroad to slave it away for pittance. Though when the money comes there, the value does increase. But that is not how to grow a country where you have your labor force, helping to build the industrial capacity of other countries, while we are just home here high and dry. Well, it's supposed to be a good policy, but the supporting infrastructure, power, roads, strong institutions, strong legal framework, incorruptible judiciary that can also defend investors' funds. I can't see all of this. So I see that as a challenge and as a roadblock to any industrialization drive that anybody will want to put in place, including that of the president.
Oof. Important talking points there. These are the real issues. We can talk about politics all day, but really, what politics is meant to achieve is welfare, security, better economic realities for the people. So this Nigeria is where we're headed next, and it leads with the same story you find on most front pages of Nigeria today: Electoral Act Amendment, verbal war, minority walkout, reps session. But you see right under the big picture, El-Rufai, Baba Ahmed warns against politicizing serious allegations. And this has been on for a while now. Mr. Carrier, El-Rufai versus, is it the SSS now, or the NSA, or President Tinubu, or FG, or APC? He looks like he's taking all of them on. And they might be ready for him as well. How much attention should Nigerians pay to all of this? Connection stopped yet again. I think this is the wrong time for connection to actually fail. Not this morning, really. Not this morning. But Mr. Kerry, you're back. I was asking about the El-Rufai versus SSS, NSA, federal government, APC, President Tinubu, and the rest. How much attention do you think Nigerians should pay to this?
Well, it's a bit distracting. El-Rufai is almost like a gadfly in the Nigerian political environment. But I need to make the point this morning that what goes around comes around. When El-Rufai was governor of Kaduna State, he behaved around the state like an emperor. He was actually the first governor in this country, my memory carries me correctly, to introduce a Muslim ticket. Kaduna State is a cosmopolitan state. It's a fair admixture of Muslims and Christians. You have majority Christians in the northern part of Kaduna, and of course the southern part of Kaduna, you have majority Christians. But El-Rufai came along and said, "Oh, damn it!" And then he got his deputy as a Muslim, thereby enforcing a Muslim ticket. Even before the APC with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who picked Qasim Shettima, who is also a Muslim, as the vice president. And I recall vividly, under El-Rufai, there was a lot of killings in Kaduna State. Kaduna State almost became a killing field. So all of these are issues, even beyond the corruption case that is facing now. And then it's dropping that he is alleged to be involved in dropping the line of the national security advisor on no rebuttal. That is a federal crime. It's a serious crime. It's proven. So El-Rufai has his mouth full. He needs to chew a lot. He has his hands full too at this time. The law has to take its course. People cannot, cannot claim to be above the state as far as I'm concerned. Again, if you look at even the 8 years reign of former President Muhammadu Buhari and all of the allegations, how these armed Fulani militias were brought into Nigeria. El-Rufai almost became a tortoise who is always present in every story, every bad story that has to do with the political stability of the country and the security of the country. El-Rufai is present. So I give kudos to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the National Security Advisor, and the entire national security architecture for reining El-Rufai in. It was actually long overdue. Many Nigerians were looking up to it to this time. I think the next person is Sheikh Gumi, who is also running his mouth so much, creating a lot of tension in the country. It's only in Nigeria that we can have individuals like this walking free when they're actually stoking so much violence, encouraging violent preaching in the mosque, in their places of worship and all of that. And even in public statements, whether on television or in the media, you see people like Sheikh Gumi grandstanding as if there is no leadership in this country. I think it is time to take our country back from the hands of these divisive elements, people like Sheikh Gumi, El-Rufai and all of that. That is not how, as far as I'm concerned, Nigeria belongs to every one of us. Every Nigerian should have a stake. We are also in this country where we have two laws. We have the Sharia law practiced in 12 states in the north, and then in the south we are having the common law. That is why we're having all of the crises. People have now criminalized Sharia law, encouraging beheading of people, stoning of Nigerians, cutting off the hands of people, and then alleging blasphemy, and people can get killed. You can be stoned to death if anybody doesn't like your face and say, "Oh, you have blasphemed the Holy Prophet Muhammad," and then you see people without even asking questions. That individual is killed on the spot. We must correct all of this if we are interested in building a country. Otherwise, as far as I'm concerned, yes, as a journalist, we preach peace, we preach unity, we support coexistence of all ethnic groups. But we cannot also live with people who are hell-bent, who are committed, to a particular form of life. If people say they don't want to change from the ways that they believe in, and there are people who want to live a secular life, then why are we together? Why must we be involved in a forced marriage? For me, I think this is some kind of contraction that was put in place in 1914 by the British. It is time to also revisit it. 100 years is over now. We can also revisit our union, how we want to live together, revisit the constitution, the contentious aspect of the constitution. How did we manage to get into a situation where we have two laws for one country? This is not China and Hong Kong. We should, if Nigeria is one country, then we should have one law. That's my position on this morning.
Right, and I think we've seen this happen time and again. Is this the year, or at least is this a period we get some sort of closure to it? Well, that is yet to see. But we have to thank you so much, Mr. El-Rufai, for joining us this morning. From your village, electronically, we've been speaking with Mr. El-Rufai, a member Nigerian Guild of Editors. Wish you the very best, sir.
We will transmit the result. We will transmit the result from here. We will transmit the result from here. So, the transmission of the result. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll take a moment now, and when we return, we'll show you what played out in the Senate and in the House of Representatives, just for you to get a better sense of exactly how this decision was reached. I'll give you another angle to it. So stay with us, we'll be right back.